Hi everyone, this is Heather's Healthy Cuisine, where healthy meets tasty and easy. This is my first video, so I'm so glad you can be here. And if you don't know why I'm doing this channel or my background, I have a little intro video that you could watch, and then you'll understand why I'm doing this healthy cooking for you. So tonight we're gonna cook a chicken kebab basmati rice entree, but I'm also going to include an appetizer, really easy, just a hummus with celery, and then also dessert, peach crumble with fresh whipped cream. All really yummy, fresh summer things. So let's get into the kebabs first. And I'm going to also show you kind of the timeline that I do everything so that you can make sure it's all ready to serve to your family or guests. So you can see I have my cutting board here and really good knife, sweet mini peppers, or just use regular bell peppers, portobello mushrooms, you can also use white mushrooms, no biggie, purple onion, or white or yellow onion. We're gonna season it with tamari. If you're not familiar with tamari, it's basically a gluten-free soy sauce. Soy sauce, they ferment it in wheat, and so people that have a gluten sensitivity can't deal with soy sauce. Okay, black pepper, and also season it with garlic powder. Okay, and then you'll notice my chicken. So mine's already cubed, and this was really convenient because another time I had a lot of chicken and I didn't need it all at the time. While my hands were all kind of gross from cutting up anyway, I just cut up a couple chicken breasts into these big cubes, put in the Ziploc bag, and put in the freezer for another time. So I've got these skewers that can be cleaned and reused, but if you're not using a grill, you can also bake these in the oven at 400 degrees. And you've got your baking sheet right here that you can bake it right on for 30 to 45 minutes if you're using the oven. Let's wash our sweet peppers. Rinse them off. These have already been washed slightly before they've been packaged. Just depends on how big of a group your family is or guests are that you're cooking this for, of how many peppers that you need. We're wanting a lot of veggies, so all I'm doing is cutting the tops off. And then I'm gonna cut down the middle. That's it. Continue to chop your peppers in half lengthwise. Lots of colors. Clean out the seeds. You don't need to be too perfect on that. But they're ready to go. Clean off your mushrooms, keeping them whole. You only need half of your onion. Peel it and quarter it, leaving it in big chunks. Okay, let's get started on the kebabs, and you can do this in any order. If you want to do it vegetarian, add in some more veggies like zucchini and eggplant instead of the chicken. Prepare your chicken second after your veggies so that you can just keep going with that chicken mess right over the baking sheet. All your raw chicken is over there, and you're not really dealing with a lot of mess because you're keeping it on that baking sheet, which is a really handy tip. Just continue to assemble your skewers. Any pattern will do, but you want to make sure there's plenty of veggies in between each of those chicken chunks, giving everybody probably one skewer per person that you're serving. Don't get the veggies and the chicken too close together because you want to make sure the heat can surround everything. I'm gonna season our kebabs now with the tamari first. This has a real salty flavor, so I'm not gonna put any extra salt on this. And this gives a little liquid moistness so it can cook well. Good flavor. I love this instead of Worcester sauce too. Any of your recipes that have that in it. I'm just gonna dump on the garlic. Garlic powder is just a staple. Must. Garlic is another great nutritional beneficial spice. It's a bulb actually. black pepper. I like the coarse ground. You notice these are really big. Sometimes I just like the look of it, to have the big black specks. But you can use fresh ground pepper too. I just like these extra big ones. And we're ready to go. I'm gonna take this out to the grill and it'll cook on one side and then we'll just flip it once. It'll be done in 30 to 40 minutes. Now that our chicken is on the grill, we're gonna get everything else ready. So the next thing on the list is the rice. And I'm using brown basmati rice. And it's a little bit different than just brown rice because brown rice is short grain. It's kind of nutty, a little bit harder. It usually takes a long time to cook too, about 45 to 60 minutes depending on the brand. And that one's really good more in soups. So I like the brown basmati because you'll notice that it's longer grain and it has a little bit better smell. It's a little bit lighter too, since this is a lighter summer meal. So I'm gonna, just depending on how many people you're serving, you're basically gonna double the amount of grain. So I'm using 1 cup of rice. Actually, I'm gonna do 1.5 because we've got 5 people over here. I'm gonna do 1.5 cups times 2. We're gonna do 3 cups of water. I always do just a little bit extra water just to make sure it's nice and soft, especially when you're cooking whole grains. You wanna make sure you have plenty of water. Now we're gonna make the peach cobbler while the cobbler while the rice is cooking. All I have is a 1-pound bag of frozen peaches. I've already thawed them. At lunchtime, I just threw them out on the counter. So if you forgot to do that, you can just put them in your microwave, but they should be soft. So my little pan here, I've already sprayed with olive oil. Again, if you're a stickler about aerosol sprays, you can just grease it with like some coconut oil. All I'm doing is spreading that around a little bit. Okay, that's all I did is dump it in there. If you want to do fresh peaches, that's great. I'm gonna use organic unsalted butter. It's just pure cream basically. So we've got our butter. I'm gonna follow my recipe here. I'm gonna use raw honey. It's unfiltered, delicious, about 1.5 cups. Using the minute oats because they're smaller, they cook a little. So 2 cups. Okay, and then I'm gonna use almond flour. 1.5 cups of it. It's just so light. Teaspoon of baking powder. Okay. A 1/2 teaspoon of salt. This is pure sea salt. These are my trio I always use in baking. Any recipe in baking, I always use cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger. I just love it. So cinnamon, right here, we're gonna use the most of. 2 teaspoons. Okay, that is what that looks like. And I'm gonna grab a rubber scraper. So I'm just basically kind of scooping and folding over, scooping and folding over. And that's it, everything's incorporated together, okay? So I'm just gonna pour this right on top. I'm just gonna make sure all the peaches are covered. Our cute peach crumble / cobbler is all done. I'm gonna put it into the oven now, 350 degrees for 20 to 30 minutes, depending on your oven.
1 teaspoon vanilla and 1/8 teaspoon monkfruit sweetener to 2 pints of whipping
Now we're
cream.
gonna do the appetizer. And it is so easy. I love Sabra hummus. If you've never tried it, they have different flavors. Grabbing some celery sticks, rinsing them real quick. Now for the appetizer, after they're cut, I'm just gonna rearrange them so that they're on these little dishes and the little diagonal part is up. Plop the hummus right in the middle, and it already has a very presentable top that it comes in. Doesn't that look cute? They're like little flowers. And that's gonna be our appetizer. Bon appetit. You see, everything turned out great on the grill. I just did a little splash of parsley on the top to serve it. But if your skewer comes out, you could just put your skewer on the top. We've got our fresh appetizer. The color turned out so well. I hope you sit down with your family and just really enjoy and take your time with this meal. See you next time on Heather's Healthy Cuisine.